Good evening, everyone. I Divya Singh welcomes you all to Earthrun. Earthrun is an initiative started under the guidance of Dr. Anupma Srivastav, Head of the Department of Economics, Isabella Thoburn College, Lucknow. Our mission is to prepare aspirants for the UPSC preliminary and mains and other competitive exams so that they can update themselves with the daily news analysis, facts, information in the field of economics. Founded in 2020, Earthwind has led numerous successful initiatives that have produced real change in the competitive environment through different activities like weekly updates with a static portion of the topic, quizzes, flowcharts, and mind mapping on different hot topics of the week. The link has been provided in the description box, so do go through them and register yourself for the content, quizzes, and mock tests as soon as possible. So now, let's start our today's slideshow. In this slideshow, we will be discussing the STAR mock test which was held on 25th July 2021. I hope that you all had attempted that STAR mock test, but unfortunately if not, then for you my advice is never do tomorrow what you can do today. So just visit Earthfund website and attempt that STAR mock today only. And for those who had attempted it, I would like to say if you got good marks, keep doing, but if you got less marks, let's improve. So now let's start our discussion with our first question. Our first question is related to Justice Katie Thomas Committee, and the correct option for this question is option B, that is prevention of damage to public property. We have often seen that in the situation of protests, agitations, bands, hartals, the maximum damage is done to the public property. And for preventing this damage, we have the law, that is Prevention of Damage to Public Property Act 1984, that punishes anyone who commits mischief by doing any act in respect of any public property with a jail term of up to 5 years or a fine or both. But now the question arises, is this law fulfilling its purpose? Supreme Court found on several earlier occasions the law inadequate and has attempted to fill the gaps through guidelines. And finally, in 2007, Supreme Court took suo motu cognizance of these cases. Suo motu means on its own will or on its own initiative. So, in 2007, Supreme Court set up two committees headed by former Supreme Court Judge Justice Katie Thomas and senior advocate Fali Nariman to suggest changes to the law. In 2009, Supreme Court issued guidelines while accepting the recommendations of these two expert committees, in which Justice Katie Thomas Committee recommended reversing the bundle of proof against the protester. Our second question is related to Pilibhit Tiger Reserve, and the correct option is option C, that is both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Pilibhit Tiger Reserve, Uttar Pradesh is located in Pilibhit and Shahjahanpur district of Uttar Pradesh. It was notified as Tiger Reserve in 2014. In 2020, it bagged International Award TX2 for doubling up the number of tigers in the past 4 years. It forms the part of terrain art landscape in the Upper Gangetic Plain. In our third question, stages of budget enactment in correct sequence is asked, and the correct option for this is option B. The budget goes through the following 6 stages in the Parliament: presentation of budget, general discussion, scrutiny by departmental committees, voting on demands for grants, passing of appropriation bill, passing of finance bill. Hence, option B is correct. Our question 4 is related to the Consolidated Fund of India, and the correct option for this is option D, neither A nor B, which means that both the statements are correct. Consolidated Fund of India is the most important of all government accounts. Revenues received by the government and expenses made by it, excluding exceptional items, are part of Consolidated Fund. Consolidated Fund of India is constituted under Article 266(1) of the Constitution of India. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It is made up of all revenues received by the centre by way of taxes and all non-tax revenues. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Therefore, both the statements are correct and correct answer is neither 1 nor 2. Now, question 5. This question is related to National Power Thermal Corporation NTPC, and the correct option for this question is option C, both 1 and 2, which means both the statements are correct. NTPC Limited is India's largest energy conglomerate with roots planted way back in 1975 to accelerate power development in India. The National Thermal Power Corporation (NTPC) Limited is a central public sector undertaking (PSU) under the Ministry of Power. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It became a Maharatna company in May 2010. Hence, statement 2 is also correct. Our question 6 is related to divergent boundaries, and the correct option for this is option A, which means that only statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. We know that ridges are formed when two plates separate from each other and magma from inside comes on the surface from the semi-molten region of asthenosphere. Also, along with those ridges, variable geographic features are formed inside the surface of the Earth. Magma coming out forms the seafloor and various mountains. Thus, it is a constructive phenomenon. Mid-Atlantic ridges in North Atlantic Ocean is one of its examples. It is the system of largest ridge formation in the world, and also Mid-Atlantic ridge separates the American plates from the Eurasian and African plates. Apart from this, Great Rift Valley is also an example of divergent boundaries. Now the question 7, which is related to Mount Sinabung and Semru volcano. In this, the correct answer is option C, which implies that both the statements are correct. Mount Sinabung is located in Karo Regency, North Sumatra. Sinabung is among more than 120 volcanoes in Indonesia, which is prone to seismic upheaval due to its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire. Semeru is the highest volcano in Java and one of the most active. It previously erupted in December 2019. Indonesia, with the maximum number of active volcanoes in the world, is prone to seismic upheaval due to its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire. Hence, statements 1 and 2 both are correct. Now the question 8, which is about exercise Desert Flag 6, and the correct answer for this is option B, which implies that both the statements are correct. Desert Flag is an annual multinational large force employment warfare exercise hosted by the UAE Air Force. Recently, it was in news that in reflection of its gradual expansion of defense ties with the UAE, India participated in a multilateral air exercise in the Gulf nation alongside several other key players, including the US and France. The sixth edition of the exercise, Desert Flag 6, was conducted from March 4 to 27 at Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE. The exercise was also joined by Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, while Jordan, Greece, Qatar, Egypt, and South Korea participated as observer forces. Moving to question 9, this question is related to Waste to Wealth mission, and the correct option for this question is option C, which means that both statements 1 and 2 are correct. Waste to Wealth mission is one of the 9 national missions of the Prime Minister's Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council. Principal Scientific Advisor K. Vijay Raghavan has announced the launch the Swachhta Sathi Fellowship to recognize students, community workers, self-help groups, and municipal sanitary workers engaged in tackling the enormous challenge of waste management scientifically and sustainably. He said the fellowship is to empower young innovators engaged in community work of waste management, awareness campaigns, waste surveys, studies, etc. as Swachhta Sathis and implement actions to reduce waste for a greener planet in cities and rural areas. It will target the very grassroots of community participation and recognize efforts made by citizens to make India a zero waste nation. Three categories of awards under the fellowships are Category A, open to school students from 9th to 12th standards engaged in waste management community work. Category B, open to college students, UG/PG research students engaged in waste management community work. And Category C, open to citizens working in the community and through SHGs, municipal or sanitary workers working beyond specifications of their job requirement descriptions. The mission will assist and augment the Swachh Bharat and Smart Cities project to create circular economic models that are financially viable for waste management to streamline waste handling in the country. Now, question 10, which is related to Black Broad Babbler, and the correct answer for this question is option A, which implies that only statement 1 is correct. In the 1840s, a mystery bird was caught on an expedition to the East Indies. It was named as Black Broad Babbler. The species was never seen in the wild again, and a stuffed specimen featuring a bright yellow glass eye was the only proof of its existence. The black-throated babbler is a songbird species in the family Pranidae. Recently, a black-throated babbler was rediscovered in southeastern Kalimantan, the part of Borneo that is administered by Indonesia. Hence, statement 1 is correct. This bird is often called the biggest engimen in Indonesian ornithology. It is listed as data deficient in the IUCN Red List. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Moving to question 11, which is related to Better Than Cash Alliance (BTCA), and in this the correct option is option B, which implies that only statement 2 is correct. Better Than Cash Alliance is a partnership of governments, companies, and international organizations that accelerates the transition from cash to responsible digital payments to help achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. The Alliance has 75 members which are committed to digitizing payments in order to boost efficiency, transparency, women's economic participation, and financial inclusion, helping build economies that are digital and inclusive. Members do not want to abolish physical cash but rather want to provide responsible digital payment options that are better than cash. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. India became a member of the Better Than Cash Alliance in 2015 to digitize payments, to achieve financial inclusion, and to share success stories from Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, the world's largest financial inclusion program. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Now, question number 12, which is related to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. The correct answer for this question is option D, that is, all the three statements are correct. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, is tasked with supporting the global response to the threat of climate change. The UNFCCC Secretariat is located in Bonn, Germany. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The convention has near universal membership, 197 parties, and is the parent treaty of the 2015 Paris Agreement and 1997 Kyoto Protocol. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Paris Agreement, also known as the Conference of Parties 21 or COP21, is a landmark environmental accord that was adopted in 2015 to address climate change and its negative impacts. It replaced the Kyoto Protocol, which was an earlier agreement to deal with climate change. It is a legally binding international treaty on climate change. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Moving to question 13, which is about the Central Information Commission. The correct answer for this is option D, which implies that all the three statements are incorrect. The Central Information Commission was established by the central government in 2005 under the provisions of the Right to Information Act 2005. It is not a constitutional body. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The commission consists of a Chief Information Commissioner and not more than 10 Information Commissioners. They are appointed by the President on the recommendation of a committee consisting of the Prime Minister as chairperson, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, and a union cabinet minister nominated by the Prime Minister. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The Chief Information Commissioner and an Information Commissioner shall hold office for such terms as prescribed by the central government or until they attain the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Hence, statement 3 is also not correct. Now, question 14, which is related to World Development Report 2021, Data for Better Lives. And the correct answer for this is option B, that is World Bank. Recently, the World Bank has published the World Development Report 2021, Data for Better Lives. The World Development Report 2021 provides a blueprint on how to harness the power of data for development to ensure no one is left behind. World Development Report 2021, Data for Better Lives, explores the tremendous potential of the changing data landscape to improve the lives of poor people, while also acknowledging its potential to open like doors that can harm individuals, businesses, and societies. To address this tension between the helpful and harmful potential of data, this report calls for a new social contract that enables the use and reuse of data to create economic and social value. ensure equitable access to that value, and fosters trust that data will not be misused in harmful ways. Moving to question 15, which is related to African elephants. The correct option for this question is option B, which implies that all the three statements are correct. There are two subspecies of African elephants, the savanna or bush elephant and the forest elephant. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Savanna elephants are the larger of two. The forest elephant has a more restricted natural distribution. Therefore, its decline is especially worrying. The International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN) has declared African forest and savanna elephants as critically endangered and endangered respectively. Hence, statement 2 is correct. African elephants are keystone species, meaning they play a critical role in their ecosystem, also known as ecosystem engineers. Elephants shape their habitat in many ways. Hence, statement 3 is also correct. Moving to question 16, which is about Earth hour. The correct answer for this is option A, which means that statement 1 is not correct and statement 2 is correct. Earth hour is the World Wildlife Fund for Nature (WWF's) annual initiative that began in 2007. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. It is held every year on the last Saturday of March. It encourages people from more than 180 countries to switch off the lights from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. as per their local time. The idea is to refrain from the use of non-essential lighting to save energy in a symbolic call for environmental protection. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Now, question 17, which is related to dynasty and region. The correct answer for this question is option B, that is 2 and 3 only, which implies that the dynasty and region mentioned in 2 and 3 are only correct. The Kathiawari kings were a medieval ruling clan of the present-day Uttarakhand, India. They ruled over the region now known as Kumaon from 700 to 1200 CE. Hence, pair 1 is not correctly matched. The Chandelas of Jeshka Bhakti were a royal dynasty in central India. They ruled much of the Bundelkhand region between the 9th and the 13th centuries. Hence, pair 2 is correctly matched. The Pala Empire was an imperial power in the Indian subcontinent, which originated in the region of Bengal. Hence, pair 3 is correctly matched. Moving to question 18, which is about quasars, and the correct option for this question is option B, which means that statements 1 and 3 are not correct and only statement 2 is correct. Quasars are very luminous objects in faraway galaxies that emit jets at radio frequencies. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. They are only found in galaxies that have supermassive black holes which power these bright disks. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Black hole refers to a point in space where matter is so compressed as to create a gravity field from which even light cannot escape. Most active galaxies have a supermassive black hole at the center which sucks in surrounding objects. Recently, an international team of astronomers has discovered the most distant radio-loud quasar with the help of European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Moving to question 19, which is related to pre-pack framework, and the correct option for this is option B, which implies that pre-pack framework is related to the resolution of the debt of a distressed company. Recently, a subcommittee of the Insolvency Law Committee has recommended a pre-pack framework within the basic structure of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code IBC 2016. A pre-pack is an agreement for the resolution of the debt of a distressed company through an agreement between secured creditors and investors instead of a public binding process. Hence, option 2 is correct. Now, question 20, which is related to National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI), and the correct answer for this is option B, which implies that all the three statements are correct. National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI) is an umbrella organization for operating retail payments and settlement systems in India. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It is an initiative of Reserve Bank of India and Indian Banks Association under the provisions of the Payment and Settlement Systems Act 2007. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It has been incorporated as a not-for-profit company under the provisions of Section 25 of Companies Act 1956, now Section 8 of Companies Act 2013. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Moving to question 21, which is related to Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana (PMBJP), and the correct answer for this is option B, which implies that only statement 2 is correct. Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana (PMBJP) is a campaign launched by the Department of Pharmaceuticals in 2008 under the name Jan Aushadhi Campaign. The campaign was revamped as PMBJP in 2015-16. Bureau of Pharma PSUs of India (BPPI) is the implementation agency for PMBJP. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Government grants of up to Rs 2.5 lakhs are provided for setting up of Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Kendras. The Jan Aushadhi Kendras can be set up by doctors, pharmacists, entrepreneurs, self-help groups, NGOs, charitable societies, etc. at any suitable place or outside the hospital premises. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Moving to question 22, which is related to Dr. C.V. Raman. The correct answer for this is option D, which implies that all the three statements are correct. Raman thermometry is a thermal characterization technique which makes use of Raman scattering phenomena to determine the local temperature in microelectronic systems. Hence, statement 1 and 2 are correct. The Raman effect or Raman scattering is a phenomenon in spectroscopy discovered by the eminent physicist Sir C.V. Raman in 1928. In 1930, he got a Nobel Prize for this remarkable discovery, and this was the first Nobel Prize for India in the field of science. Hence, statement 3 is also correct. Now, question 23, which is related to State Election Commission. In this, the correct answer is option D, which implies that both the statements are incorrect. The State Election Commission has been entrusted with the function of conducting free, fair and impartial elections to the local bodies in the state. The elections of the legislative assemblies of states are conducted by the Election Commission of India. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Article 243(k)(1), it states that the superintendence, direction and control of the preparation of electoral rolls for and the conduct of all elections to the panchayats shall be vested in a state election commission consisting of a state election commissioner to be appointed by the governor. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Moving to question 24, which is related to refugee in India. In this, the correct option is option C, which means that both the statements are correct. Recently, the Ministry of Home Affairs (MHA) has directed Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh to check illegal influx from Myanmar into India. The state governments have no powers to grant refugee status to any foreigner, and India is not a signatory to the United Nations Refugee Convention of 1951 and its 1967 protocol. Hence, statement 1 and 2 are correct. Moving to question 25, which is related to World Bank and Indian government project to enhance the education system. The correct answer for this question is option C, that is Nagaland. The Indian government of Nagaland and the World Bank signed a $68 million project to enhance the governance of schools across Nagaland. It also aims to improve teaching practices and environments in some select schools. The project, titled Nagaland Enhancing Classroom Teaching and Resources Project, also provides technology support to hybrid and online learning. Moving to question 26, which is related to the Advanced Institute of Integrated Research in Livestock and Animal Science (AIIR-LAS). The correct option for this is option B, that is Tamil Nadu. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Edapadi K. Palaniswamy, has recently inaugurated the Advanced Institute of Integrated Research in Livestock and Animal Science (AIIR-LAS) in the state. It is located in Thalaivasal of Salem district. It is considered to be the largest such institution in Asia and has been constructed at a cost of Rs 1023 crore. Now, question 27, which is related to RMX 21, and the correct answer for this is option A, Ladakh and Uttarakhand. RMX 21 is a major skiing expedition launched by the Indian Army from Karakoram Pass in Ladakh to Lepuloik Pass in Uttarakhand, covering around 1500 km distance. This comes to close proximity with the LAC in Ladakh, Himachal, Garhwal and Kumaon sectors. The expedition comes amid border tensions between India and China. Now question 28, which is related to Rhinoceros. The correct option for this is option B, that is only second statement is correct. It is listed as vulnerable in the IUCN Red List. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary in Assam has the highest density of Indian rhinos in the world. Hence, only statement 2 is correct. Now question 29, which is related to the Production Linked Incentive PLI scheme. The correct answer for this is option C, that is both the given statements are correct. The Indian Cellular and Electronics Association (ICA) has written letters to the NITI Aayog to consider declaring 2020-21 as zero year for Production Linked Incentive (PLI) scheme for manufacturing of mobile phones. PLI schemes for all sectors that have been announced since April last year envisage incentives on achievement of a minimum threshold of cumulative incremental investment and incremental sales of manufactured goods net of taxes. Since the government notified the PLI for mobile manufacturing on April 1st last year, financial year 21 was considered as the base year for the calculation of incremental investments and sales, and therefore the incentives to be given to companies. For the purposes of calculation of incremental investment, incremental sales of manufactured goods, net of taxes, and therefore the incentives, cell phone companies have urged the government that the current financial year be considered as zero year. In essence, they say that for the purposes of calculation of the incentives to be given to under the PLI scheme, the government should consider the incremental investments they will make and sales of products they will achieve from the next financial year. The most common claim is that the lockdown in the first 3 months of this fiscal left them with very little time to get started with the building of or expansion of old units. Hence, both the statements are correct. Moving to question 30, which is related to resolution 46 by L1. The correct answer for this is option A, that is, it is related to human rights situation in Sri Lanka. India abstained from voting on a resolution in the United Nations Human Rights Council UNHRC that makes a wide-ranging and damaging commentary on the human rights situation in Sri Lanka. Resolution 46 by L1 has decided, among other things, to strengthen the Office of the High Commissioner on Human Rights to collect evidence and develop possibly strategies for future accountability processes for gross violations of human rights in Sri Lanka. Hence, option A is correct. Moving to question 31, which is related to the Special Purpose Acquisition Companies, SPACs. The correct option for this is option C, that is, both the given statements are correct. An SPAC or a blank check company is an entity specifically set up with the objective of acquiring a firm in a particular sector. The aim of this SPAC is to raise money in an initial public offering (IPO), and at this point in time, it does not have any operations or revenues. Once the money is raised from the public, it is kept in an escrow account which can be accessed while making the acquisition. If the acquisition is not made within 2 years of the IPO, the SPAC is delisted and the money is returned to the investors. Hence, both the statements are correct. Now, question 32, which is related to Suez Canal, and in this option A is correct, which implies that only statement 1 is correct. The Suez Canal, a critical shipping artery that connects the Mediterranean and Red Seas through Egypt, has been blocked after a large cargo ship ran aground while passing through it, bringing traffic on the busy trade route to a halt. A human-made waterway, the Suez Canal is one of the world's most heavily used shipping lanes, carrying over 12% of the world trade by volume. Built in 1869, it provides a major shortcut for ships moving between Europe and Asia, who before its construction had to sail around Africa to complete the same journey. Hence, only statement 1 is correct. Moving to question 33, which is related to CBSE. The correct option for this question is option C, which implies that both the given statements are correct. The Central Board of Secondary Education has rolled out a new assessment framework for classes 6 to 10th in English, Maths and Science in cooperation with the British Council. Under the new system, the teachers will be trained to create question papers and other assessment methods that test the actual competency of students in these subjects rather than their ability to memorize chunks of text. The new framework has launched by Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. It is aligned with the National Education Policy's vision of achieving a global standard in assessments. In the first phase, the framework will be implemented in select Kendriya Vidyalayas and Navodaya Vidyalayas, CBSE schools in Chandigarh and a few private schools. In 2024, it will be rolled out to 25,000 CBSE schools across the country with 1.32 lakh teachers and 2 crore students. Hence, both the statements are correct. Moving to question 34, which is related to the Chief Justice of India. In this question, only option A is correct, which implies that only statement 1 is correct. Article 124 of the Constitution of India provides for the manner of appointing judges to the Supreme Court, but there is no specific provision in the Constitution for appointing the Chief Justice. Chief Justice of India should be the senior most judge of the Supreme Court. Seniority at the apex court is determined not by age, but by the date a judge was appointed to the Supreme Court. Hence, only statement 1 is correct. Now, question 35, which is related to mill and tutti, and the correct option for this is option C, which means both the given statements are correct. Acquisition wing of Ministry of Defence signed a contract with Defence Public Sector Undertaking Bharat Dynamics Limited for supply of 4,960 Millen-2T anti-tank guided missiles to Indian Army at a cost of Rs 1,188 crore. The Millen-2T is a tandem warhead ATGM with a range of 80-50 meters produced by BDL under license from MBDA Missile Systems, France. These missiles can be fired from ground as well as vehicle-based launchers and can be deployed in anti-tank role for both offensive and defensive tasks. Induction of these missiles will further enhance the operational preparedness of the armed forces. Induction is planned to be completed in 3 years. This project is a big opportunity for the defense industry to showcase its capability and will be a step in the direction of achieving the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat in the defense sector. Hence, both statements are correct. Question 36 is related to the country which signed MOU with India, and the right answer is Fiji. Under this memorandum, a joint working group will be constituted to set procedures, plan and recommend programs of cooperation towards achieving its aims. Our question 37 is about the app which Union Minister Shri Thawar Chand Gehlot launched. The app is Sugame Bharat app. He also launched a handbook called Assess the Photo Digest. It is a means for sensitizing and enhancing accessibility in the 3 pillars of the Accessible India campaign, that are built environment, transportation sector and ICT ecosystem in India. Now, question 38, which is related to river abatement project costing rupees 2,117.54 crores approved by Maharashtra, and the right answer is option C, Nagpur River, which flows through Nagpur city. The project is approved under the National River Conservation Plan. It will reduce the pollution level in terms of untreated sewage, flowing solid waste and other impurities. Moving on to question 39. It is about the optical instrument developed indigenously by Indian scientists, and the name of it is spectrograph. It can locate sources of faint light from distant quasars and galaxies in a very young universe. It is about 2.5 times less costly compared to the imported ones. Question 40 is about the top performer in the ranking under Ease of Living Index 2020, announced recently for cities with population more than a million category, and the answer is Bangalore. Around 111 cities participated in this assessment exercise. Second position goes to Pune, followed by Ahmedabad, Chennai and Surat. Question 41 deals with the amount that India attracted FDI inflow during April to December 2020, and the answer is option B, 67.54 billion US dollar. FDI, that is foreign direct investment, is an investment in the form of a controlling ownership in a business in one country by an entity based in another country. Question 42 is about the institute which developed the high-resolution platform to detect the effect of prolonged alcohol exposure on RBCs, and the name is the Raman Research Institute, an autonomous institute funded by DST. The device relies on the resistive pulse sensing principle. Moving to question 43, that deals with the Matri Setu bridge built between India and Bangladesh. The river it is built upon is Feni River. The construction was taken up by National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited. Its length is 1.9 km, joining Sabroom in India with Ramgarh in Bangladesh. Question 44 deals with the helpline number announced by Indian Railways, and the number is 139. It is an integrated Rail Madad helpline number for all types of queries, complaints and assistance during travel. Question 45 is about the agreement and MOU signed by Indian Oil Corporation Limited with which other corporation to develop Paradigm Plastic Park, and the corporation is Odisha Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation. It is initiated by Government of India, keeping in view the enterprise and employment generation potential of the plastic sector. It is going to be a real game changer for the downstream plastic industry and will boost the petrochemicals, plastic infrastructure, oxy industries and MSMEs. Question 46 is about the prestigious King Bhumibol World Soil Day 2020 award of FAO, and the recipient of this award is Ms. Suchitra Durai, who received it on behalf of ICAR. She is the ambassador of India to the Kingdom of Thailand. The award was announced keeping in view ICAR's excellent contribution in soil health awareness. Question 47 is again about the Ease of Living Index 2020, and the top performer city in less than a million population category is Shimla, followed by Bhubaneswar and Silvassa. Moving on to question 48. Question is about the archaeological site Rakhi Gari being developed as one of the 5 identified iconic archaeological sites. It is located in Haryana. The site has yielded various stages of Harappan culture and is by far one of the largest Harappan sites in India. Moving on to question 49. What is the name of Indian Navy ship that arrived at Port Louis for the Mauritius National Day celebration? The answer is INS Shradul. The celebration highlights the close relations between the two countries and is aimed at strengthening the bilateral ties. Now, finally, the last question. Question 50 is about the bridge inaugurated by the Prime Minister between India and Bangladesh, and the name of the bridge is Matri Setu Bridge. The name symbolizes the growing bilateral relations and friendly ties between the two countries. With this inauguration, Tripura is set to become the gateway of Northeast. I hope that you all had understood these questions very well, but if you have any doubt, then you can ask them in the comment box, or you can directly contact us at artharan919@gmail.com. Thank you for joining this and supporting our initiative.